Patrick.
This is Shannon.
And it's time to play. Today we are going to be reviewing our haul that we got from Gen Con 50. We're going to be going back and forth on different things that we got, stuff that I'm excited about, and stuff that Shannon's excited about. So our first item was Scott Pilgrim's Precious Little Card Game by Renegade. This is both con exclusive items, and I'm not sure yet what makes the con exclusive different from the regular exclusive. The game retailed for $50 and the mat retailed for $25. I'm very excited about this game simply because I'm a huge Scott Pilgrim fan.
The first purchase I'll be talking about is the one that I was most excited about, and that is Rick and Morty Close Rick Counters of the Rick Kind deck building game. And this is by Cryptozoic. This is something that was on my shopping list for later in the year. I think fourth quarter or so it's going to be released. But I ran by Cryptozoic's booth at Gen Con. That was my first stop, and they happened to have a handful of them for sale, and they did sell out pretty quickly in the weekend. So I was pretty excited to get my hands on this guy. It also has a first print promo that came with it, the promo Rick. So that's pretty cool. And this retailed at Gen Con for $43. I'm not really sure what it's going to cost when the game actually comes out later this year. So this was my exciting pick of the con.
Next game, more of an expansion to a game that I've most recently started playing, is by Asmodee Games, and it's called One Deck Dungeon. Shannon picked this up for me since it is the ability to play one player, can also play two and up to four players. They're coming out with a second one, which is going to be more forest-based here pretty soon. But they had the play mat, which I was very excited about, and this was maybe an impulse buy, but it has all the layout. Check this game out. It is a great little game, One Deck Dungeon by Asmodee Games.
The next game that I'm going to talk about is actually an expansion, and this is Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle, the Monster Box of Monsters expansion. Another one that I was very excited to get my hands on at Gen Con, and it's released right before Gen Con, but not very widely, so it's a little bit more difficult to get your hands on. Plus, if you happen to pick it up at Gen Con, it did come with 3 promo cards, which is pretty cool. They're all Lovegood based promo cards, since Luna is a new playable character in this expansion. So Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle Monster Box of Monsters expansion by USAopoly, and I picked it up for $30 at Gen Con.
My next big purchase that I was very excited about was Privateer Press. They recently released a brand new faction called Grimmkin, the Wicked Harvest. This is the core army box. It retailed for $200, and it also came with a free all-color set of the cards. Also from Privateer Press, the Old Witch, which is a warcaster for the Grimmkin and can also be played with Khador.
Next game I picked up is Pictopia, the Ultimate Picture Trivia Family Game. It's by Ravensburger. I'm not really sure how you say that. This is not something that I had on my radar. It was just, I don't want to say it was an impulse buy, but I received an email from this company about some new games that they had offered at Gen Con, so I took a gander by their booth to check it out. And it looked pretty interesting. It's ages 7 and up, 2 to 6 players, and it's Harry Potter, of course, so I thought it'd be something that we could play with the family, and it would be a lot of fun. It also came with a Gen Con promo, which was pretty cool. They did have a couple other ones. They had a Marvel one for sale that I probably will have my eye on and might eventually pick up before the end of the year. I hear there's some other Pictopia games out there. There's a Star Wars one for sure. So we'll give it a try and see what it's like. It was $25, and I also had a 10% off coupon in the coupon book.
Next item that we purchased and was a very hot item at Gen Con was Clank in Space by Direwolf and Renegade. There was a big rush for their booth soon as the doors opened on Thursday morning, and as I got to the booth, all I could hear were people asking for Clank in Space. So I was a little bit worried. They did sell out of their first stock on the first day and then their second stock on the second day, so that was not available for the rest of the convention for anyone else if they got there on Saturday or Sunday. This retailed for $60, and it also came with a promo card, and we will probably be doing a game review on this one in the future. This was a great game, and I'm very excited about this purchase.
My next game is Legendary Buffy the Vampire Slayer by Upper Deck. This was another one of my must-have purchases from Gen Con this year. I'm a big fan of the Legendary games, and I'm a big fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so this was a no-brainer. I actually played in a win-a-box tournament at Gen Con on the first day, and I lost a box, so I actually had to go purchase this at the Upper Deck booth, which was $60. Did come with a first print promotion in the box, which is a special bystander. And I gave it a play, and I really enjoy it. I'm glad I picked this one up.
My next purchase is from Gale Force 9. It is a Dungeons & Dragons DM screen for Storm King's Thunder. It is glorious and has great information on it for that particular campaign. The other item that I bought while I was there is Haroka's deck, and that goes with Curse of Strahd campaign. So I picked the deck up for $10, and I picked up the DM screen for $15.
My next set of purchases were all DC deck building game related. The first one is this Multiverse box, and Cryptozoic got smart and they decided to appease all of our game players that are struggling to find storage solutions for these deck building games, and they came out with this Multiverse box. It was $27. It actually is not just a storage box, but it comes with 33 new game cards. So you have location cards, dividers, foam spacers. So it looks like a pretty cool box to have for the DC deck building game. Along with that, I also picked up this Birds of Prey crossover pack number 6. This is coming out later in the year. I was actually surprised to see it for sale at the Cryptozoic booth, so I went ahead and grabbed it. So this is a expansion that has 6 superhero cards and 31 game cards in it, and it is in addition to any of the DC deck building base games you can play along with. And then another purchase DC deck building related is this new Confrontations, and it is a new engine where you play team versus team. So it can be 2 players against each other. It can be two teams of 2 players each that play against each other. So it looks like a pretty fun new way to play the DC deck building game, and that's something we're always looking for. Confrontations also comes out later in the year. Another reason I picked it up is I was kind of surprised to see it on there. It was on my to buy list for like 4th quarter or whatever. This one was $43. This one was $14. Multiverse box was $27. My next purchase was Munchkin Rick and Morty, and this I picked up at the USA Opoly booth as well. It's by Steve Jackson Games, and this is something that I wasn't expecting to see at Gen Con, as it's not really available for a couple more months, but they had some for sale, so I wanted to go ahead and snatch this up. I think it was $20 at the booth. It also came with a official Munchkin bookmark of Rick and Morty, and it is a game playable bookmark. So Rick and Morty and Munchkin together, it was kind of a no-brainer to go ahead and pick this one up too.
Another item that I picked up at Gen Con, rather ordered at Gen Con, was a dice rolling tray by D20 Collective. This retailed for $64. It collapses and rolls up. These things on the corner are actually magnets, and then it rolls up. Genuine leather. I ended up ordering a scroll side of flames with a black onyx leather and a red dragon on that. I'm very excited about this to order. Some of you may have seen me post this multiple times. Another purchase was isometric gaming paper by gamingpaper.com. I'm actually involved with their Kickstarter to get a dry erase mat. Very excited about this. This would appease to anybody that is into the art or actually doing tabletop type gaming. Again, gamingpaper.com, isometric paper, check them out. Very cool stuff. So another one of our purchases at Gen Con was some extras for one of our favorite games, Lords of Waterdeep.
If you play Lords of Waterdeep on the regular, one complaint that you might have is this cardboard money. It's one of my pet peeves in games is cardboard money, especially if you play a game a lot and you're always handling it and over time you're going to wear it out. One really cool thing that we were able to find at Gen Con were these soul coins for Lords of Waterdeep. So you can see we've got the 1 coin, 1 denomination, and then this is the 5 denomination. It's pretty big and they're nice and heavy and durable. So this is pretty exciting. It definitely added some weight to the game box as a whole.
The coins, which were 60 total coins with the bag, retailed for $39.95. And we picked this up from some of our good friends at Top Shelf Gamer. You can find them at topshelfgamer.com. They sell a lot of great things. The other thing that we picked up for Lords of Waterdeep were these meeples. Before they were just little squares of color, which wasn't too exciting. It served its purpose, but if you're looking to add a little bit more realistic to your game, you can pick up the actual meeples that represent the thief, the fighter,
wizard, and cleric.
And that was 108 of these, retailing for $24.95, also from Top Shelf Gamer. Shannon, was there a particular game that you were absolutely looking forward to more than another?
Well, as I stated, I had like a top 3. I really wanted the Rick and Morty deck building game, I really wanted the Buffy Legendary, and I really wanted the Harry Potter Monster Box of Monsters. If I did not leave with those 3 games under my arm, I probably would have been a little bummed out. What about you? What did you want to pick up at Gen Con?
So before I even got to Gen Con, I was doing research, and while some of the games weren't standing out to me, I was mostly after that dice tray. I was also after the gaming paper, and then Asmodee had teased us that they might have had a couple of their next expansion out for One Deck Dungeon. But overall, I think after I came back, my biggest wins were Privateer Press, and I'm most excited to play the Scott Pilgrim game.
And just real quick, here's a few more promos that we happened to pick up off of tables at Gen Con. I've got a Munchkin Deadpool playable bookmark, the Elemental Conflux.
Can't remember what the game's called, but it was Pointy Hat Games.
Pictopia Marvel, they had a promo card for that game, which I'll probably eventually pick up, so I went ahead and grabbed the promo for that. Munchkin X-Men, there was a promo card. Munchkin Marvel promo card. I own this game, so that's good to have that. A Creeper from Flux, which if you know about Flux games, these are interchangeable and you can use them in any of the Flux games that have the creepers. And then if you played the Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle, they also gave you a handful of promo cards at their booth, which are for the original Hogwarts Battle game. So that was pretty cool. And this one here, which is a Groot playable character for the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Gear Up and Rock Out. Awesome mix card game.
So this concludes our Gen Con 50th Anniversary 2017 Gaming Haul. I'm Patrick.
I'm Shannon.
And what time is it, Shannon?
Time to play.